Thank you.
Oh, you can correct.
Should I go here? Hello? Can you hear me? Actually, should I talk in the microphone?
You have to talk into it, I think.
Can you guys hear me well in the back? Or should I use the microphone?
You can hear you.
Fine? Okay.
If you just keep it fit.
If you just keep it like aimed towards you, it's pretty good. Just like
Okay.
that.
All right. Cool. Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Eugene. I'm the co-founder and the CEO, internal CTO of the company called AdTechMedia. What we do, we basically try to help publishers and content providers to monetize their content in the ad blocking context. It's an advertising platform with micropayments capabilities that can help you monetize your media content. Media content including WordPress. So I'll try to first talk about what we're trying to achieve quickly, so it doesn't turn out into be a big sales talk. And then I'll dive pretty quickly, because I'm I'm an engineer as well. I'll try to show you the short demo, as well as to show you the code. And if you guys find it interesting, please feel free to talk to me at the end. Okay? My experience, as I said, I'm an engineer. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I worked for various companies, including one of the big startups in the top 10 technology companies like Amazon Web Services. I worked also at media companies like Hearst, a corporation. So this is one of the projects. It's actually my personal project that I do on the side, outside of my full-time job. As a media company, I would like actually to take a media approach, and instead of telling and showing and talking about what we do, I have a 30 seconds video that I hope it will be useful, and I hope the video, it doesn't have the sound, right?
I don't know. You can try that. Otherwise, you can put the mic next to your laptop.
Yeah, let's see if that will work.
The rise of ad blockers rings the alarm in the publishing industry. With billions of dollars in lost revenue, publishers must innovate or they go out of business. AdTechMedia helps publishers monetize content through native micropayments. Already used in other industries, micropayments bring complementary revenue immune to ad blockers. Our white-labeled solution doesn't affect the native look and feel of your website. Drop us an email to find out more.
Okay, I hope that was useful. And sorry about this one. This one. And just to go back a little bit, a couple of months ago, it was literally the website that, or the view that turned me to say, look, I have to do it because it gets me crazy. Right? We're starting from when I saw this over and over again, this splash screen from Forbes, and I'm an active user. You can see there of ad blocking. So you can see there at the corner. So we actually need to find out better solutions than just asking people for their personal information, or forcing advertising by avoiding this different kind of ad blocking solutions and so on and so forth. So ad blocking is a big problem, and it actually started to take off a couple of years ago, back in 2013. Different companies like eMarketer, different research companies like eMarketer, like PageFair, they say that at least in the US it's between 20% and 30% of desktop users are using ad blocking. On mobile it's even bigger, right? It's not a problem like blocking ads, but at the end of the day, for content providers, some of you are guys content providers as well, right? This is a lot of revenue, right? That was traditionally used in publishing industry. So PageFair is estimated to be $20 billion around the world, only in the US. Around the world, it's estimated to be almost $42 billion, $41.5 billion. The value proposition, what we're trying to build with AdTechMedia is actually to help publishers and content providers to be able to generate complementary revenue streams. So you have probably existing monetizing workflows and monetizing strategies. AdTechMedia, it's a white label solution that is supposed to help you to integrate into something that already exists as native advertising or native micropayments. And in order to not to spend too much on the sales side, as I said, I'll make it very, very short. I'll jump right away into the demo. So this is a WordPress blog that I put together. I took some of our actually blog posts that we're using to publish, to spread the word about our platform. And I can show you that right now, it has no monetizing ways of, I cannot monetize that. I'm not using anything, not advertising, not micropayments, nothing. So I will go to WordPress, to the backend, okay? And we'll go to plugins. As you can see, the only plugins that I have is the one that WordPress gave me. I did it actually last night. So I have another WordPress blog post that I'm using for testing. So I thought just to build one from scratch. And I'll go here, I'll add this plugin that I'm talking about. All right. It was published a couple of weeks ago on WordPress.org. Okay, WordPress AdTechMedia. Okay. We'll do an install. I'll go ahead and I'll activate. And now it's done activating, will be the moment of truth. We'll go back to the article and I'll try to reload it. The activation part, well, again, it takes a little bit more time because it does a lot of operations, but also because it makes sure that everything that is installed, you as an individual, as a WordPress user, and especially as a non-technical person, you don't need to do all those things by yourself, right? I wish WordPress would give a little bit of still waiting, of a way to say how much time it has to wait. Also, this is not the best hosting, so I just took the free version. Oh my god, this is bad. So let me go back once again. Let's see if it's actually activated. If it doesn't activate, I'll show you on our dev environment. Come on.
It always does this.
It's supposed to be easy, right? Anyway.
Oh, it worked.
It did. Oh, yes. Okay. Now, the next step is I just go back to this website. I reload the article. Okay. Unfortunately, it's the hosting. It's if you're using just the development environment, it throws you on a shared infrastructure, and it's not the fastest one. Anyway, as you can see, nothing changed, right? Only when you start to engage with this article, just want to point out that at the top something appeared. I don't know if you noticed that, but even if you didn't notice that, as you scroll, you'll see The layout of the article stays the same, everything stays the same. It's just at some point you're not able to read this article, right? So you can, even if you're a technical person, you can take this blur, but you still will not be able to read this article. There are a couple of different algorithms that we are applying. It is customizable for you as a WordPress user, because we're also aware of SEO, right? So you want your content to be indexed by Google and all the search engines. This algorithm doesn't do that. This just cuts it off, right? You can see some of the images, but again, you cannot see the text. As you go here and say, okay, I want to read this article. Right? Basically, what we're trying to do as a business model is to empower the end users to decide who pays for content consumption. Right? Either it's you, so for example, me, I don't like spending my own money if I have a cheaper version or a cheaper opportunity, so I'll go with advertising. But I have a friend that I talked to a couple of weeks ago that he says that he's actually the other way around. He would rather pay out of his pocket, but not seeing advertising, not be involved in any kind of, there is no free lunch, that's what he says, right? So, if I go with this approach, just show the ad, I can actually click on that. Unfortunately, I will not be having, I can send you the link at the end, you can test it by yourself. An ad will show, it will run a video for a couple of seconds, and then you'll be able to read it for free. Right? I want to emphasize a little bit on the micropayments route. So I click this button, and I keep going. Right? So that's why the solution is supposed to be very low barrier of entry, very easy to allow you to actually taste first to see if you like this content. If you don't like, you click the refund, then you leave the website forever. If that's your choice. But you as a user have the choice, right? So let's say you read this article, liked it or not, you move on. Right? So for now, you didn't pay anything. You just pledged that you will pay. If I go to the second article, and again, one thing that I didn't mention, as you can see, the WordPress, the only thing that AdTechMedia as a platform adds is that the modal at the top and the bottom to open it up, right? Same approach here. I want to emphasize how fast it is, right? Because I'm really proud of that. Again, I read this article, I don't even need to click this button, I just want to go on, right? Moving forward. I read this article, I'm fine with that. If I go to the third article, and again, it's not supposed to be step by step. 1 second, right? I'll finish the demo and then I'll take the questions. When I go to the third one, now you can see that you don't have any more choices of pledging or viewing advertising. Well, you can view the advertising. Now we ask you to set up a payment. You can set up your own credit card, or you can set up using your PayPal, Amazon Pay. Let's say I'm using my credit card. Right. Really nice user experience. Valid 0822 533. Oops. 533. Okay. And then I can set up a pay. Right. So that's my demo. Everything is open source actually, except the platform. So this plugin you can find out on GitHub. Let me open up github.com. GitHub.com. AdTechMedia. WordPress. Oh, I'm sorry. WordPress plugin. Okay. Code is here in source. A lot of PHP. A lot of TXT, and so on. Yes, you have a question?
So you said this doesn't impact SEO? said it did, I misheard you.
Yes, so there are a couple of algorithms. We have 4 different algorithms. One of them actually scrambles the text, so that one impacts SEO. The other one, so it's 4. 2 of them scrambles the text, so that will impact the SEO. 2 of them doesn't. Meaning one is actually doesn't do anything to your text, it just applies the CSS style to blur the text, and another one is only extracting the keywords that are important for your article.
Sorry, so I mean, the actual copy of the page to search engine crawler is different.
No, it's the same.
But you said that the text is scrambled.
Scramble, it means that it takes the original text and it messes up, but it's still text. It's not, it doesn't...
So is it different from what's originally, like is the order of words different, or like...
Yeah, it's different. Those 2 scrambling locking algorithms that I mentioned, one of them doesn't do anything, so it's still SEO compatible.
Yeah, I get this, that the CSS just changes how it looks. Makes it hard to read, that's fine.
Yes.
I mean...
But the other one is scrambles only everything except the keywords that you want for your article to be indexed by Google.
All right, thanks.
So you're saying you choose which way?
Yes, you choose, you as a content provider, you have the options, what kind of scramble locking algorithms do you want to apply to text. Yes.
So what is the split? Is it 50-50 of that 5 cents or what?
The split?
Yeah.
It depends. Right now, by default, I think we set up like 70-30. But at volume, obviously, you can negotiate that.
You get 70, we get 30, or?
No, you get 70 and we get 30.
Okay.
Yes.
What percentage of people go on to watch the ad or read compared to those that stop there?
That's a good question. I wouldn't go into that. I would point out a different percentage that is more important. One of the options that you didn't see there, but a lot of people is taking in terms of ad blocking is they leave. And I can tell you from our numbers and compared with some of the competitors that we are working together in order to help them out with the micropayments side, it's more than 95% of people don't leave. Which a recent report from PageFair says that 77% of people, when they get to an ad blocking solution that asks them whether it's white label or provide their own personal data, 77% of people leave the website.
So I'm not understanding this. So if someone comes to that message to pay the 5 cents or watch the ad, you're saying 95% of the people will do
choose one or another.
And only 5% of the people just leave the webpage?
Yes.
What about the third click where they actually have to pay? What percentage stay there?
What percentage convert to actually set up the payment? It's a lower percentage. Majority of people actually choose advertising. Yes.
Are there any provisions for researchers or students or other people to access content when they may be working for an institution or a nonprofit that doesn't provide a budget for this kind of thing?
Honestly, we didn't thought about that yet. We launched this project a couple of months ago. We're just literally getting started.
They can just watch the ad.
But if
Exactly.
Well, at some point, they're going to be blocked out of content.
Not if they view ads.
Because you can select
I see.
whether I watch this video.
Yeah, so it's
And that works even with ad blockers, right?
Yes,
so,
exactly.
So they can always watch the ad.
Thank you.
yes.
Who controls the pledge amount?
Sorry.
Who controls the pledge amount?
You as a content provider, you have a backend in WordPress. I didn't get to that point, to that part, but here's the backend to the WordPress plugin when it will load. You can set up based on the, so you can set up when you want the payment gateway to appear, how many transactions or how many totally pledged amount. Right? You can set up what's the price per article. Right now we don't have different prices per different articles. That's something that we think of it and consider in the future. And now it's just one price per all articles. Yes.
Do you have like somebody that you give an option to for the whole site type of pledge where they could just pay once and?
That's something on our roadmap, so it's kind of like a subscription, right?
Yeah.
So technically we are able to do that. From a business perspective, we didn't get to that point. So it's much easier to put the pledge or the pay this model, right, in front of the users after a particular event. Right now it happens on every event, right? So we didn't do that, but we can technically do that. And if there is a use case, we can discuss it. We're fine.
And what kind of, as far as the ads, what type of revenue stream comes from the ads? I mean, you're the ones who are building the ads, right?
We are the ones that we've integrated with Google DFP, and then whatever provider you have, or if you're already using Google DFP, we can integrate into your Google DFP. So as I said, this is a white label solution that can be customized to your company's needs. And you come up with your ad inventory. If you don't have, we are working right now to bring inventory to those WordPress users, or generally speaking content providers that don't have that inventory. Does that make sense? Yes?
And did you say there is a way to create an exception for users that are subscribed to your website? Where is that coming?
Yes, it's possible. So right now, there are two technical problems that needs to be solved. One of them is payment. If you want to use your existing payment methods, or you want to use the one that we've integrated. And the second technical problem is identity. How do you authenticate users? Right now we're using some services from Amazon, from AWS. And if you have your own identity stores, we can integrate into those identity stores, so you can basically reuse existing authentication systems. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any like geographic filters or anything like that? So say someone in a different territory needs to pay and it's free for other people?
Yeah, right now we actually forced it to be only US.
Okay.
But technically speaking is whatever we can offer, whatever payment provider or payment gateway is offering as a country support, we'll be extending that in the near future, as well as advertising partners, whatever they will have support for various countries, we'll be offering that. And one thing that I didn't mention it, but it's supposed to be there, is that we can tailor that per country date, right? What kind of support, either micropayments or subscriptions, we'll involve in subscriptions, or advertising, we can turn on or off one of those options. So you can have, I don't know, for one country in Europe to have only micropayments, somebody else in, I don't know, in Asia you have only advertising, in the US you have both.
Okay. Do you have something in the back end that will list the interactions and show which ones drop off and which ones continue? And like reporting, basically.
Yes. So technically, yes. We have capabilities that actually looks at this data in real time and can show it what kind of workflow do you want. Right now we have just one workflow, but we can customize them. For example, I had somebody ask me, media company that we're talking to, if we can enable this plugin only when a content becomes popular. Right? We're talking to them, and this is a use case that we can easily do. It's just as we do in real time, we look that particular content becomes popular, then we can enable this plugin.
I think Wall Street Journal has something like this.
Not quite, but they only have the advertising component, the payment gateway.
It's not as complicated.
And they don't have the advertising, and they're asking your personal information. For us, we as a platform, we don't store your personal information. We store only the email address, because that's a unique identifier that we get from the payment gateways, or advertising issue, we don't store any information. And we try to enable this platform that is respectful to privacy as well. So it's up to you. Your data is stored with Amazon, with PayPal, or whoever uses the payment gateway. It's not stored on our end. Yes?
How does it support non-Latin languages?
Non-Latin languages. So it has, right now it's only English, but you can, let me switch to this one. I don't know why it's not loading. But you can actually customize all the messages here. Right? So you can, it's UTF-8 compatible, or 16. One of those. And you can put even Russian, Cyrillic, you can put Arabic. We actually had one guy yesterday tried in Arabic. I don't know what language exactly, but it's a French domain, but it's written in some of those Arabics. So we need to figure out that we don't get in trouble for that. Installed yesterday the WordPress plugin. Does that answer your question? Let's take one more question. One more? Last question, guys.
Have you tried to played around with it much for optimizing it from people looking on a mobile as opposed to desktop?
Oh, it's actually mobile compatible.
Okay.
I didn't point this out, but well, again, I can show it.
Because I think filling out information or pressing stuff is a little bit more complicated on a smaller screen.
Yeah, it is. So here we have also Apple Pay and Android Pay. On the desktop it's not supported, but if you come from your mobile device,
it'll detect it and give you the options.
It will detect, it will give you the options, and it's responsive. Right. So you can use it on mobile device very easily as well. Okay. Thank you, guys.